Welcome
Excellent.
back to the show, everyone. Thanks for watching the show tonight, Bytes. We have our steam panel, Rob Suber and Eric Ruiz. Basically on the show tonight, we covered disaster recovery earlier in the show, and now we're actually going to cover VMware vSAN. So this is a topic that both of my colleagues on the show were really amped up to really talk about. So, you know, with that, guys, take it away. Tell us all about vSAN. Tell me about the things that you think that makes it great.
Okay, Rob. All right, well, Rob seems to be dumbfounded at the moment. So, expandability, okay? It's all about expandability because take like hardware, okay? Granted, you have to meet a certain criteria, of course, like anything else, but you can take multiple nodes and keep expanding out.
Yeah.
Basically provide storage from a non-traditional, non-typical network kind of device, okay? And, you know, that can be used in many different ways because, you know, realistically, you may have an app, one particular very, very needy app. So you want to cater to that app, but you don't want to cater, you know, a multi, you know, $200,000, $300,000 SAN. So you take a vSAN and lay it out there. So maybe minimum, of course, always a minimum of 3 nodes.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you know, there's minimum requirements VMware requires, but you take the minimum 3 nodes and, okay, you do your testing, you do your proof of concept, and then you realize you need more IOPS.
How many copies is the best practice?
Well, minimum, okay, it's really not copies, it's just nodes. So
no, there has to be copies. There has to be copies of the storage.
Right, but the base, right, the base is 3.
Right.
Minimal is just 3 because you have to have, each node has to have a certain amount of memory. Each node has to have
it has to be balanced cluster.
Right, and each node has to have a certain amount of middle and lower storage if you want to go that route. But
it has to be identical too.
Yes.
To an extent.
To an extent, you can.
No. Not to an extent. Exactly has to be. And the reason why is because if you have a node that doesn't have the same storage and you have a performance issue, guess what? You're not going to be sure. Is it the storage? First off, the cluster won't let you in the tiers. If you're using, let's say, a 3.6 or 3.2 terabyte SATA SSD in your capacity tier, you can't mix in spinning disks. You could add another tier below it. You could tier to a lower if you wanted to, but really, you know, using NVMe for the front end flash, and you're basically using, you know, SATA or SAS SSD for primary storage.
Which version of vSAN are we discussing here? So let's take that for instance. So, you know, ideally, Microsoft, VMware, everybody requires a minimum of a certain amount of nodes with some form of identicality.
Right.
But you can always add extra. So that every node has to have, you know, 15K RPM disk in it. Once you get past a certain number, you have the ability to stage and tier your data. Okay. Right. And of course, since it's vSAN, or smart enough to understand that, okay, we have cache, we have fast, we have middle, we have low. Okay? Not every node has to have everything, because once you get past a certain number, it knows, it understands that this is what this level is, this is what this level is, and this is what level this other level is.
Right.
So it's smart enough to tier that. That is the purpose of tiering. So let's just say you have, okay, let's say we'll go HP across the board, okay? Or whatever, Dell across the board. And we have the minimum nodes already required plus a couple extra. And we want to say, okay, these nodes are dedicated to middle. These nodes are dedicated to low. These nodes are dedicated to high. Each has to have a compliant controller, a compliant amount of memory, and a compliant amount of caching.
Correct. Okay? You got to have caching too.
Right. Because then as it receives data, it moves it around. Of course, in background network.
Wait a minute. Before you go one step further, I want you to tell me how that data is handled. Because if it's handled properly, what's happening is the data write is hitting cache, and then as it's being destaged to a lower tier, then compression and then encryption at rest. Is that how it works?
That is exactly how it works, because that's exactly what it does. What it does is it takes the data, right, and caching only, destages it, so this way you get lower IOs and stuff like that. So this way it can move the data quickly. So this way, that's the reason why it stages it and puts it down in the tier level like that. And you got different types you can use. You can use a caching only, right? Or you can also use traditional, but even with traditional, you got to have one caching drive. You have to have that because you have to have caching.
Right now.
But hold on a second. Hold on.
That the specs that I just read is basically one NVMe or SSD for 7 spinning disks.
Correct. That is correct.
There is a base requirement for each node as far as operating system goes, as far as caching goes, okay, and as far as networking goes. Okay, networking meaning like iSCSI or fiber channel or FCOE, etc., outside of the other traditional networking, because each node communicates at the best speed possible. Of course, you want to give the most bandwidth. Right. That being said, you can dedicate nodes to slow, medium, and high, but all have to have minimum of certain amount of caching, minimum of certain amount of type of controller that can handle the I/O required. Okay.
Well, as you know, Eric, the standard they tell you is to use NVE with this, and that's the standard they use for the caching.
But that is one standard, but you can't go to straight memory.
Exactly. Your spinning disk could be SATA, whatever, SSD, whatever you want to utilize, like you said.
Dude, you can throw a terabyte of RAM into one of these boxes. You don't need NVMe.
Yeah, that's true. And then you know what? You can break it down like you said.
No. Everything from memory is going through the bus and then into the processor. With caching, you have just a layer that absorbs the write. It comes in, you use an RDMA, it's going right from controller on one machine
to the controller on another machine.
Direct memory into the
right. Because you're using remote. You're using remote DMA. I agree.
But are you referring to Microsoft technology, VMware technology? Which technology are you referring to?
It's actually a good question, which is why the reason why I mentioned that is because looking at the documentation today for vSAN, it didn't talk about any nodes requiring RDMA or iWarp2, which are essential for storage networking. If you want to have a really good performance.
Not necessarily. That's the whole thing. There's more than one way to skin the proverbial cat.
That's correct.
Now when it comes to RDMA and storage networking,
that's one aspect.
But you see, this is the difference that VMware does that other vendors do not do. When you use other vendors like that, they have a storage controller. And see, this is what VMware tries to get around. They have a storage controller that goes in there and, kind of help you with the storage and how it, delineates around the data and stuff like that. With VMware, it goes right from the cache, right into your drive area like that. So it writes, it says, here's my request here, puts it in MVE, go right to the disk. Whereas other ones, you got, it makes whatever you want to do. You're doing something with a database here, right? NVE and then a controller, and then it hits the disk. So they try to cut out that step so this way you'll have better IOPS and stuff like that, and you'll have quicker access to your data. And that's where, Patrick, that's where all the staging and stuff comes in and stuff of that nature. So this way, it can move the data around quickly, and you know what? Speed up the bus that it's on as well. The PCIe bus and stuff like that. So it won't overwhelm it. So. Pushes data out.
In that aspect, that's why you need a control with a certain amount of cache on there. And on top of that, they recommend a minimum of 10 gigabyte between all nodes.
Absolutely.
Just for inter-node communication, regardless of the rest of the networking. So that being said, if you have a certain amount of modes, you want to go above that, 20 gig, 40 gig, etc. But realistically, there's more than one way to apply. So grab the data, take it inbound, process it, move it around.
Correct.
Yeah, but there's really important architectural decisions around the networking, because if you're running NVMe and you're not running at least 40 gig, the network becomes a serious bottleneck in overall performance.
Maybe not, because let's say you're not running NVMe and you're running whatever, 20 gig, 40 gig, 80 gig. 40 gig has come down in price. So getting a couple 40 gig and throwing that into your network is not that bad like it used to be 2 or 3 years ago. 10 gig? You can get a QNAP or a Synology NAS with 10 gig E on there. It's commonplace. Soon, it's like 1 gig to the house. Soon it'll be 10 gig to the house.
That's true. And it's very true.
Going 10 gig, though, is 3 times less than the current standard right now, especially when it comes to NVMe you can't have the network be a bottleneck because that's what the users are going to see. Everything might be between the cluster nodes, everything is great,
Right.
but when it comes to that,
So
the access layer.
But hold on a second. You have dedicated switches, okay?
Right.
Let's say 20 gig. Okay, so each node has 2 diverse 10 gig GBICs or connections for storage, okay? That goes into so 2 private switches, say Nexus switches. They're load balanced. They're connected.
Are they connected with fabric interconnects?
Sorry?
Does vSAN use fabric interconnects into the
It
network?
can. Anything VMware does, vSAN can do.
Yes, exactly.
So that being said, we can take 2 10 gig networks, bind them together.
Yes.
The quad small form pluggables, you can combine the connections.
Diverse Nexus switches, and it's 20 gig across them. So if each node has 20 gig and dedicates its own storage, and that's just running at jumbo frames plus memory speed and everything else, it's not going to be that much of a bottleneck. Unless you're doing some Oracle rack kind of craziness or something that's like big AI, big data that like
when utilization of the cluster is low, it may not be,
IOPS.
when utilization of the cluster is not totally inundated with applications and servers, you may not see it, but as everything begins to scale up and you have nodes that are pumping the need for hundreds of thousands of IOPS,
so then
network
you have to make the business decision to go from vSAN to traditional SAN or vSAN to dedicated SAN or
but see, that's
SSD.
With vSAN, you could scale to 64 nodes. There's no reason why we want to do a SAN, right now with the amount of IOPS. If I want all flash SSD, I could pump out 150,000 IOPS a node, which for some, that might not seem like a lot, because there are NVMe drives that are capable of pushing out 200,000 IOPS in a single drive.
Okay, the benefit of virtual SAN is configurability, flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to understand your workload. You have to understand what you're doing. You're not going to take the low-end module node and throw that at something like an Oracle rack or something like this gobs of I/O. Of course, you have to, there's logic behind this. There's common sense behind this. You have to throw it at this. That being said, if you want to come in, okay, listen, the base settings, 3 nodes, each node has cache, each node has a certain amount of RAM on the controller, plus storage, and everything equates. After that, you have to adapt that through either trial and error, reporting, all the rest of that to say this is what my stuff needs. Okay, you're not going to throw a Yamaha motorcycle.
No trial and error. You measure.
But hold on. How do you measure when you're experimenting for something the first time?
Writing.
But
everything. Listen, I have been to many vendors that said, "Oh, we need X amount of IOPS. We need X amount of CPU. We need X amount of cores." Okay, and then I run reports later on. Okay, they want 32 cores. They need 4. Oh, we need 128 gig of RAM. We need 16. Okay, you know how vendors are. Okay, they're the New England Patriots. They want to shoot for the stars. Belichick, boom, throw a bomb. It doesn't work that way.
The good thing about this too with vSAN, you can hook up a SAN to vSAN too. That's another thing that you can do if you really truly say, hey, we're processing a lot of data, we're processing a lot of IOPS and stuff like that. You can hook up a SAN to that. And it'll process it the same way like you're just doing a vSAN. It'll incorporate right into vSAN like anything else. So if you wanted to, Patrick, you can hook up a SAN into vSAN. It has
maybe that's the stuff that I haven't really seen yet. I didn't see anything about storage virtualization, anything like that. So that's
you can do
stuff. Basically virtual front-ending any arrays, front-ending any of the storage systems tiers.
The thing it does, it just looks at it like another node. That's what it does.
Okay, honestly, I'll tell you right now, I'm not sure how vSAN is going to do that, and I've never done that.
Yeah, you can do it.
Right, but I've worked with some other technology, maybe slightly older, like a data core SAN Symphony type technology that will, saying basic software-defined storage runs to the back end and will say, I present you fiber channel. I present you fiber channel over Ethernet and fiber channel, iSCSI.
Right.
And the back could be 20 million different things. And it just kind of makes it all look like plain and pretty. But I'm not sure vSAN could do that. At least I have not read that, so I cannot deny.
It can definitely do that. If you look at their documentation, it can definitely hook off from a SAN. Definitely. It just looks at it like another node. So
we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We're talking about vSAN and pretty much the storage architectures of the platform. When we get back, we're going to have further discussion about the platform.
Traditional SAN or vSAN to dedicated SAN.
No, but see, that's
SSD.
You know, with vSAN, you could scale to 64 nodes. There's no reason why I want to do a SAN, you know, right now. With the amount of IOPS, if I want all flash SSD, I could pump out 150,000 IOPS a node, which for some, that might not seem like a lot, you know, because there are NVMe drives that are capable of pushing out 200,000 IOPS in a single drive.
Okay, the benefit of virtual SAN is configurability, flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to understand your workload. You have to understand what you're doing. You're not going to take the low-end module node and throw that at something like an Oracle rack or something like this, gobs of I/O. Of course, you have to, you know, there's logic behind this. There's common sense behind this. You have to throw it at this. So that being said, you know, if you want to come in, okay, listen, the base settings, 3 nodes,
right?
You know, each node has cache, each node has a certain amount of RAM on the controller, plus storage, and everything equates. After that, you have to adapt that through either, you know, trial and error, reporting, all the rest of that to say, this is what my stuff needs, okay? You're not going to throw a Yamaha motorcycle.
No, you trial and error, you measure. You
right, but hold on. How do you measure? When you're experimenting for something the first time.
Writing.
But
everything, listen, you know, I have been to many vendors that say, oh, we need X amount of IOPS, we need X amount of CPU, we need X amount of cores, okay? And then I run reports later on. Okay, they want 32 cores. They need 4. Oh, we need 128 gig of RAM. We need 16. Okay? You know how vendors are, okay? You know, they're the New England Patriots. They want to shoot for the stars. Belichick, boom, throw a bomb. It doesn't work that way.
The good thing about this too with vSAN, you can hook up a SAN to vSAN too. You know, that's another thing that you can do if you really truly say, hey, we're processing a lot of data, we're processing a lot of IOPS and stuff like that. You can hook up a SAN to that. And it'll process it the same way like you're just doing a vSAN. It'll incorporate right into vSAN like anything else. So if you wanted to, Patrick, you can hook up a SAN into vSAN. You know, it has
you know, that maybe that's the stuff that I haven't really seen yet. I didn't see anything about storage virtualization, you know, anything like that. So that's
you can do
stuff. You know, basically virtual front-ending any arrays, front-ending any of the storage systems, tiers.
The thing it does, it just looks at it like another node. That's what it does.
Okay, honestly, I'll tell you right now, I'm not sure how vSAN is going to do that, and I've never done that.
Yeah, you can do it.
Right. But, you know, I've worked with some other technology, maybe slightly older, like a data core SAN Symphony type technology that will, you know, saying basic software-defined storage runs to the back end and will say, I present you fiber channel. I present you fiber channel over Ethernet and fiber channel, or sorry, iSCSI.
Right.
And the back could be 20 million different things. And it just kind of makes it all look like plain and pretty. But I'm not sure vSAN could do that. At least I have not read that, so I cannot deny.
It can definitely do that. If you look at their documentation, it can definitely hook off from a SAN. Definitely. It just looks at it like another node. So
we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We're talking about vSAN and pretty much the storage architectures of the platform. When we get back, we're going to have further discussion about the platform.
Gene Lazarovich, Advanced Computer and Network Corporation.
We build, service, support, jet stored data storage systems. We offer the best price performance ratio on the market. We offer a consultative approach to the customers. We try to figure out their pain points, and then we try to offer them the best possible solution. I'm passionate about interacting with my customers, interacting with partners, interacting with suppliers. Whenever I talk to customers, they always challenge me. They always try to push me to give them the best possible solution that we offer. We are small and we are able to react faster to the customer needs. So we don't have a big overhead. So customers can go directly to me. I can solve the problem. If the problem is not solved, then they can go to my support team and they will help them. So we are small, and that helps us to be more reactive to the customer's demands.
Image is everything. Reputation management delivered at the speed of thought. R Squared Media helps clients be seen or not be seen. Be the only one your customers see on page 1 of Google, Facebook, YouTube, and more. Have your fake news removed from page 1 of Google. R Squared Media is a certified minority-owned business with the City of New York and winner of the 2017 Minority Business of the Year Award. Clients love R Squared Media because we're fun to work with and deliver results at the speed of thought. Visit rsquared.media to schedule a consultation today.
Dynamite Networking Group, where super connectors meet.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. You have Rob Suber and Eric Ruiz, Managing Director and Infrastructure Architect for 2 reputable companies. Tonight, we're talking about vSAN and how vSAN architecture, the vSAN architecture, how it works, and what capabilities the platform actually has and brings to the table. But before we get into that technical data, Eric, I just have to ask, how did the date go with Malibu Barbie?
Rob was a gentleman.
Oh no,
he was a gentleman. I'm saying he was elegant. He was kind. He was pulled my chair out for me, of course. But I don't know about Malibu. He had no Corvette.
I don't know about
Nice
that.
house. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not too sure about that.
Oh man,
Where is
you're
she?
a Corvette kind of guy, man. So you're kind of tall, man.
Where
I
is
see you
she?
smacking your head on top like this,
Where is she? I haven't seen her, so I don't know what you did to her.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Why did she just disappear?
Go put your wig on. Go put your wig on.
Oh, I need a wig?
Yeah,
a wig. I do have hair.
But you can't pull it.
Okay, guys, let's get back to the show. This is all great stuff, and I derailed the whole show by saying that, but I just
Exactly. Of course you
had
did.
to just ask. The curiosity was just killing me. I needed to know how that wonderful date went that you were so excited to go on.
In love.
Rob was the perfect gentleman.
Busting chops.
Rob was the perfect gentleman. Trust me.
He was in love.
Oh my God!
You look great. Great in the suit. You know what I'm saying?
vSAN,
3-piece.
Talking about different storage systems, being able to connect into the platform, being able to virtualize storage. Maybe back front end in an array, being able to do that. I know the one thing that I did read today that I found kind of odd that vSAN 6.7 actually allow you to deploy a RAID 5B or 5.6, I forget which one it is.
5/6, yes, correct.
5/6 RAID group for storage. The whole point of software-defined storage is that you're not running RAID. So that kind of surprised me that there's a RAID option in the software-defined infrastructure.
That is correct.
And I know
Honestly,
hyperconverged cluster nodes will have local storage in a RAID 1 configuration to basically provide redundancy to the operating system, but not for anything else. I haven't seen like that for anything else.
well, if you consider it realistically, why would you settle if you're going to be a traditional corporation or business? Why would you settle for RAID 1? That's like, the kiddie table at dinner.
Well, they have mirroring with that too, so.
Right, but
That's
still,
exactly
you
what it
have
is.
to be able
Mirror.
to give proper redundancy across all nodes. Of course, there's a minimal requirement you have to meet for that, but any good storage environment, regardless of or enterprise or semi-enterprise, even SMB, has a certain base requirement to say, okay, I can do RAID 0, 1, 5, 6, 10,
But that's
50.
actually a limitation of the platform that's giving you RAID 5. I would never even do RAID 5 for anything. Maybe a sequential workload, but that's it. I would not use RAID 5 for any kind of workload that requires any kind of performance, because the parity, the rights for parity will just cripple performance.
Yeah, plus with so much, now we got so much failover with everything now. I mean, realistically,
I'm not going to run RAID 10 for the operating system, Gerard. It makes no sense to do that.
No,
RAID 1
gentlemen,
is more than sufficient.
Gentlemen, every SAN or storage device allows you to be selectable in the LUN that you provision to a VM or a host or something. Say, we want this. Why would vSAN be any different?
Yeah, if you guys
that actually, it's good that you said that right now, because for other people that don't know about storage or don't know about this, don't know what that means. They don't know, they hear vSAN right away. You think it's a SAN. You think that you're not thinking hyperconverged storage. You're not thinking about tiering storage, storage systems. You're not talking about storage virtualization. That's all the features that other hyperconverged platforms don't have.
All right, let's bring it back to basics. Okay, vSAN is virtual storage. Okay, software-defined storage. Okay, with software-defined storage, and I cannot say 100% wholeheartedly that it is the best or the greatest or 99% out there, but it gives you flexibility to do more with diverse, or not even so much diverse. You have different hardware. So let's just say you take 3 pieces of hardware, make it compliant, and you say, I want to do vSAN, and let me do some trials on this. Okay? The flexibility you have there is only limited by your budget, what you want to do, what you want to stick in there, and what you want to try. In a lab, a couple 1 gig links you'll suffice. In production, you don't want that. You want a couple 10 gig links. But flexibility, configurability, and the ability to say, let me just mess with this and do this. Okay? From an IT guy's perspective, that's like a holy grail, man. We get to mess around.
But that's the whole concept of why they did this, too. Everybody was like, oh, traditional storage, kind of a monolithic approach, because now, you're continuously adding disk on and adding controllers and adding disk on. Now you can take advantage of local storage on your machine, You can take advantage of that. And you know what? You can put them all together in disk groups and stuff like that. And you know what? Now you got a total solution that you can utilize right there without spending X amount of money. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's bring this to more of a real-world solutions. Let's just say you have several devices, say brand whatever, an enterprise brand, HP, Dell, Joy Bag of Donuts, and you put the proper controllers in there, proper memory, or it had the disk already, it had the controllers already, or a controller that was, in that realm.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you say, let me slap vSAN across. You know what? I went to a bunch of blades. I went to a C7000. I went to a Synergy. I went to Dell this, or, Joy Bag of Donuts that. And, I have these boxes. Let me try this. And all of a sudden now you have another solution. Guess what? You have, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 nodes in here now doing vSAN. And guess what? You just extended your local backup now. And for what? Couple dollars here and there, some time and effort, and now guess what? I can back up to this, forget tape locally, and say, you know what? I can stage everything here. It performs well. It gives me the ops I need. Okay, I want to do a couple SQL database. I want to throw an Oracle database on there. Of course, you have to configure the devices according to the needs of what you're putting on there. Just a certain amount of technical common sense. Not real common sense, technical common sense, because
all best practices.
No, not always best practice, because you have a range here. There's a range, bro. This is not so finite as, a traditional SAN. Okay, so Patty is, when he develops a solution, you know what? I'll tell you right now. You know what? He's extreme, but damn it, I'll tell you right now, what he gives you is superb. When Rob said He demands of his people excellence and precision. That's what he gets. You know why? Because he knows he's been there. And now, gentlemen, I'll tell you this right now. When these guys like professionals like this, top of the line guys like this perform and bring forth a solution for you, you know what? This is not something to joke about. This is something that may not be normal or textbook or best practice or whatever you want to call that. Joey Beckett doing this crap. Okay, but it will work. You know why? Okay, experience.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, skills right there. And you know what? Sometimes you have to break that ground and develop stuff like this. You know what? Where did vSAN come from? Some guys probably in VMware or somewhere got together. It's like, hey, why don't we just software define all this crap?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay? The person that developed the Frappuccino. What the hell's the Frappuccino? It's coffee with some special stuff in there, some cinnamon on top. Okay, fine. It tastes good. Okay, so what? You know, somebody developed it, millions of dollars. vSAN, millions of dollars.
They give you options with this thing too.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Forget the cinnamon. You know, throw some other stuff in there. Vanilla.
Because you know what? You can also have a vSAN stretch cluster too. You know?
You're going now. Like you want to throw this into another level now.
Patrick, you can have a stretch cluster. We have a preferred site, secondary site, and a witness now. So if your primary site goes down, stuff automatically.
I was reading that today, and you could also adjust the MTU size so that
it's the MTU size. It's got to be within 5 milliseconds. You know.
Listen, at Patrick's age, he's witnessed a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? He came over to Santa and the Pinta and the Marina.
Oh, my God.
I heard he threw tea down in the water in Boston.
Give the man a microphone and watch out.
Come on.
Oh, my gosh. And then you got round trip.
He's got experience.
All I can say is give the Balchinian a microphone, and that's it. Everything's right out the window.
Come on. We have discussed great technology today. I'm just saying, Patrick's experience is beyond technology. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you right now, honestly, for my own, I guess because so many environments I had to do architecture for, it's just.
Because you're old?
No, but I'm gonna design for the right solution, but I'm also in that solution. It's going to be the best availability design, recoverability design.
Right.
I'm going to produce. I'm not going to produce some piece of junk and put my seal of approval on it. You know, if it's something that's not going to be stable, for something that's not well architected, like I've measured things. Like I want to know what the rate of data changes in the environment before I'm architecting storage, so I can know how much writing is going to be happening throughout the year. So if I have the historical data, look at the rate of change, measure it, and then I can calculate, is this a 5-year solution? How much storage am I really going to need in 5 years?
Right.
It can change and go up, it can lower over a period of time, but at least you have some model data to go by. But anyway.
Put it this way, ladies and gentlemen,
there's something called
Patrick and Rob. Hold on. Patrick and Rob both bring forth the best of technology. And why? Okay, you can throw a bunch of technology terms at that, and Patrick will bring the best of it. Rob, he's going to throw in the management best of it. I'll tell you this right now. Yeah, you know what? Both have the best intention in mind. Okay, delivery verbally, but they have the best intention in mind. You know what? Realistically, you know what? It's like this. Okay,
to the guy that screams at the orange juice man in the morning with his orange juice.
Orange juice lady.
No. Hold on.
We don't know how to speak. And there's an explosion over orange juice.
No. Hold on one second. Okay. Listen. You order something, you want something, you expect something.
Orange.
Okay. No. Okay.
I was appalled by your action.
I have been painted as a criminal. This is not the way it went down, okay?
Oh.
For Tropicana.
Oh, no. Stop. It was a Monday morning.
Tropicana.
No. It was a Monday morning. I went to the Giants game. The Giants lost. It was horrible. Was not feeling well. And you know what? I requested something. I didn't get what I wanted. I was, disappointed.
You got more stories in Empire State Building, man. Get out of here.
Please, come on, man. Listen.
Come on,
listen. Hold on. You're so damn tall. Come on. Seriously, man.
Come on. You got more stories in the Empire State Building.
Oh, stop, man. I saw you knocking planes down recently. Come on. Come on, man. Rob, you know what I'm saying? He's
playing with the Giants game.
Rob is a baller. Okay, listen, you know what I'm saying? Rob doesn't have those problems, you know what I'm saying? not invested in a real sport. You know, it's not a team sport.
No.
Five Guys is not a team sport. Okay,
Patrick.
football's a team sport.
No, Patrick.
He likes, he likes to do this.
Football? Why are you talking football now anyway? Why you injecting football? Now you shots? You shooting shots at rims now on TV?
I think he had too much orange juice today.
I think so.
Man, I don't think so. Listen, I play these guys compliments for the technical prowess.
Yes.
The rest of it, please ignore.
But Patrick, I know what you're saying, because vSAN, they also have there's periodical health checks and stuff like that you can go into, because they have different modules and different things that you can utilize that, will track all kinds of historical data, track all kinds of, advances.
Realize?
Yeah, absolutely. All of that stuff can feed right into vRealize. And you know what, Patrick? Let me tell you something with the stretch cluster. It does HA, it does DRS, it does all of the stuff. So think about it. You don't have to do anything with the stretch cluster. If this thing goes down over here, it's automatically moving the stuff over to the secondary site. And that's what the witness is for too, because the witness is there just in case you have isolation or a network isolation. It's like, boom, the witness is like, I'm going to pick one, because you don't want to get into a split brain situation where both nodes are like, oh, I'm the primary fighting over each other. So,
no, if they're using
and they got to,
not an issue.
Huh?
If they're using a cloud witness, that shouldn't be a problem. Or
no, exactly. But VMware has their own. They have their own cloud appliance or own witness appliance within vSAN when you do the stretch cluster.
VMware makes a product out of everything. It's amazing.
Of course, man. That's
the business.
Well, think about it. They're trying to provide it.
It's another one.
But Patrick, they're trying to provide an end-to-end solution for you this way.
No, and you know what? I tell you right now, I have to say something about, and this is a good thing. When I first heard they were actually lining up with VMware, I thought it was the end. I thought that basically AWS was just going to eat them alive.
Right.
It actually was the best move they ever made, because
Yeah.
Cloud Air is a good cloud, but it doesn't come close to what AWS is. And the fact that now AWS is providing Outposts, which is their local hyperconverged cluster, on VMware wins. There's a VMware version of every Outpost that gets sold, and there's a VMware cloud in AWS. So if you're a VMware customer, guess what? Your cloud's going to be AWS. Microsoft's making a big stride right now.
Right.
They add VMware to the Azure cloud, but it's going to be some time before it's ready. But AWS,
let me ask you a question. If they add
AWS is really where you want to go.
If they add VMware, what are they going to do with Hyper-V?
Well, that's been it's kind of a weird thing, because I don't know if it was the way that the two products came about. I'm not sure if it was a marketing thing.
Right.
But Hyper-V is actually a very advanced hypervisor solution. It has a lot of different capabilities, especially with Hyper-V containers. But VMware is has a lot. There's a lot more products involved. There's a lot more.
Right.
Hold on, gentlemen. Let's separate the comparison between, say, VMware and Microsoft. Each one stands in their own. Okay. Hey, Hyper-V 2019, it's came a long way.
Yeah, it has. That's true.
I don't think Microsoft's going to drop that. Okay.
No.
So Azure partnering with VMware, AWS partnering with VMware, Google now partnering with VMware. Okay. Guess what? You know what? That's all business decisions, and it's to bring product to the endpoint. I don't think Microsoft's going to drop Hyper-V anytime.
You know why?
Think about what you can do on a server, on a workstation, all the rest of them. It works. Okay. Small business, medium business, that works.
Exactly.
VMware. You know what I'm saying? Now we can do vSAN. Now we can do the big boy toys,
It's included in your enterprise. It's included in your enterprise license, so why not use it? Right?
Say you're not an enterprise, though. Say you're not an enterprise. Let's say you're...
Yeah, it can be regular. It doesn't have to be, but I'm just saying most of the time they have one, but if they don't, they can utilize that.
I know a lot of places.
That I didn't like that I was reading about with vRealize is that if you have a vRealize instance that you provision, you're paying for the license, whether it's on-premise or in the cloud. So essentially, if you do go to the cloud, you're paying the license for the VM and then the license for VMware. You're paying twice the cost for a license.
That's what they do.
Dude, licensing is that delicate subject, bro. That's one of those things.
I know.
That's why it's called operating costs, man. It is. Truth be told, it's something I just tend to avoid, because you know what? Listen, that's a business thing.
But
as far as technology goes, though, there is immense benefits to having all these different options.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, so
Especially with vRealize. And plus, once you buy the license, Patrick, with vRealize, you can manage your whole environment.
Oh yeah, I mean the vRealize suite is very advanced.
Yeah, it is. You can manage everything.
It's probably, I don't know. It's a toss up between vRealize and Azure Stack. I mean, I haven't looked at Outpost, so I can't really say that yet.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that either yet.
But with VMware, the vRealize suite is actually pretty advanced. To do it the right way, though, you need a considerable amount of hardware. You're running three physical clusters.
Right, exactly.
Infrastructure and local storage networking, and your management plane. You're going to do multi-tenancy. That's where all that comes into. So, it surprises me if I'm a VMware customer,
right,
and I'm running VMware all over the place. It's a natural move to go to vSAN. It's a natural move to do that. And last year they were ranked number 1 for as far as being the most complete product that in the HCI stratosphere. With all the hyperconverged clusters, they had the best put together solution.
Well, gentlemen, think of it this way. Eventually,
great solution.
Okay, all this hyperconverge, all this vSAN, all this vRealize, eventually they'll produce Terminators.
They're already out there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We will be taking over. Okay? Machines will rise up on us.
Machines will rise. I'm out.
Look at Patrick. Over 100 certifications. He's a machine.
Yes, he is.
I'll tell you right now, if I was a machine, I'd be a damn good one.
Yes, you would be.
It costs a lot of money to run me.
That's all pasta and sauce, and you know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Oh, my.
Anyway,
come on, we're all boys here.
We'll be right back, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight. We're vSAN. You have Rob Suber and Eric Ruiz with us, and it's been a spirited discussion. So we'll be right back after these messages. Thank you.
Most people understand the importance of first impressions, and we as business owners, entrepreneurs, and sales professionals know we only get one. Has someone ever asked you for a business card and you didn't have one to share? Or have you ever been given a card and lost it? At TechCloud, we have created a solution for these problems. We created a business card that you create and store on your mobile device, making it simple for you to text someone your information while collecting theirs in the process. This card is a complete digital profile connecting your name with your knowledge and experience. The best part about going digital is that everything is connected. You need just one link to share your products, websites, social networks, and blogs. Share your expertise with clients. Make it easy for others to quickly recognize your potential and talents and refer you new clients. The greatest benefit to your new digital business card is you can update and share your card as often as you like, and every card you have sent out previous is automatically updated. Just imagine meeting a potential client at a networking event. When they pass you a paper business card, you can now quickly send them your new TechCloud business card via text, and you will capture their information in your contact center. Inside the contact center, you can add notes and communicate with your contacts. This TechCloud digital business card will make a lasting impression with your clients. Get started today at techcloudvbc.me.
Image is everything. Reputation management delivered at the speed of thought. R-Square Media helps clients be seen or not be seen. Be the only one your customers see on page 1 of Google, Facebook, YouTube, and more. Fake news and bad press can be removed from Google page 1. R-Square Media is certified minority-owned business with the City of New York and winner of the 2017 Minority Business of the Year with MTA and Con Edison. Clients love R-Square Media because we're fun to work with and deliver results at the speed of thought. Visit rsquare.media to schedule a consultation for peace of mind.
With cyber threats active across the mobile world, doubt is now a part of doing business. more people are falling prey. Existing solutions do little to help. Difficult to install and configure. They're complicated, costly, and incompatible. Attacks continue to rise, which creates more doubt. It's time for Ijura Threat Eliminator. It protects your users, network, and business from a wide variety of mobile cyber threats. Technology agnostic, it needs no integration, which saves you time and money. Deploy enterprise apps just like consumer apps, keeping your users happy, your network secure, and your business protected. Ijura. Eliminate doubt.
Dynamite Networking Group, where super connectors meet.
Welcome back, everybody, to the show. We're talking about vSAN tonight. We have Rob Subert and Eric Ruiz tonight from they're both infrastructure architect and one's a managing director for both for very reputable companies. We were talking about vSAN all night tonight, and not all night, half the night. First half was disaster recovery, but we're digging into vSAN right now because there's a lot of stuff happening hyperconverged. And these guys wanted to cover this, so I figured let's do it. If we're going to cover it, let's cover it well. And so far it has been. I'm very happy. So is there any other thing that you want to mention about vSAN that somebody that may be prospecting a product or maybe somebody that has to work with it, is there a capability, something that stands out over any other storage hyperconverged solution?
There's one thing that they can do, and they can have fault domains in this bad boy. Yeah,
they can do nested fault domains. That I do know.
Yes, which is good. So let's say, for instance, since it's spread across all the fault domains and your particular racks and stuff like that, if this rack, like we talked about before, with a PDU failure or some kind of rack failure, you can actually recover from that. How awesome is that? You can't go wrong with that if you look at it, because that happens sometimes in data centers.
Yeah, it's definitely a good feature to have for sure. 100%.
It is. I mean, having fault domains and stuff like that is a great feature to have, because you never know. Like we talked about, PDUs, things going on with them, power outages, stuff like that sometimes happen.
The one other good thing that I read about today that actually came with the platform in 6.7 is the ability for reporting data, capturing data for the support people from VMware.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you're throughout the day, there's data being gathered and logged for all the changes, updates, deletes, or anything to the storage, anything with the performance of the storage.
Yeah, correct.
Operation of the storage all gets logged. Now, when somebody gets the case from VMware, they already have all that information, so they can actually look at it right away.
That's performance. That's performance diagnostics.
Right, but hold on one second, gentlemen. Actually, VMware has an appliance for that is dedicated to your infrastructure. I forget the name of that.
What don't they have an appliance for? They have
you know what? Come on, man. Listen, that's a developed product, man. They have a great product.
Listen,
Microsoft has a product for everything. You know what I'm saying? VMware has a product for everything. Linux has a product for everything.
I need a Coke. Okay.
Oh, my God.
There you go. You know what? They have somebody that will bring that to you. You know why? They're good that way. But beside the point, realistically,
I agree.
Monitoring integration across the board. Okay, most great enterprises have that because it's forethought, integration, management, accountability, reporting. Okay, it all goes together. Because you know what? Enterprise needs that. Financials needs that. Hospitals need that. Every good business needs that, okay? It's the stack, man. Back in the day when we started, the OSI model has 7 layers. Okay, it was the original model. Now you got cloud this and this model, that model, every other model, development model, AI model, big data models. And guess what? They all sit on top of each other. Just granular definitions of what was existing now because it's accountable.
And you know what? Patrick, with this capacity planning piece that they have too, like with deduplication and compression and stuff like that, they have something built in that shows you how much you're saving, how much space you're saving and compacting by this.
It has automatic recovery too, which is another feature that it has.
Exactly, man.
There's excess storage, so once storage is not consumed, it's automatically refactored into the pool.
It's exactly what it does too. And that's what's good. And you know what? Like I said, all of this stuff can get fed and right into vRealize too. So you can imagine, you have the suite. Think about it. All this stuff feeds into that, so you can really have an outlook of what your whole environment is doing, the whole vSAN and your VM environment are doing. You know,
there's more than just VMware's, vRealize. There's other products out there that do supporting, man.
Of course.
Realistically, it all depends how, what you invest in.
Exactly.
And, it takes a plan, because realistically, reporting, statistics, that's one division or a separate. So you have infrastructure, storage, networking, all this stuff becomes huge endeavors, because the bigger you are, the more you have to deal with. So you know what? It's nice to have so many different options to take all this data together and get something out of it.
But since we're talking about VMware and vSAN, I figure since we're talking about that, that's a good way to show what kind of options and what kind of stuff you can provide too. I mean, if you really want to have and really get granular in your environment, pulling out data and information so you can see how you're functioning.
Well, let's do
and stuff like that. We can make improvements and stuff like that where you may have bottlenecks and stuff. So,
all right. So let's take VMware locally, and maybe you hit Azure, maybe you hit AWS, you hit a colo. Okay, each scenario is a little bit different. Each scenario has its own positives and negatives, software and features that comes with. So it's not so always straightforward. While the base underlying technology is there, and superb, you have to be able to adapt, because let's say you're a consultant. One vendor's AWS, one vendor's Azure, one vendor's a colo. You have to adapt to all that and say, okay, listen, VMware is the basis or the foundation, but you still have some physical servers. You still have to report against what's going on here, what's going on there. You as Rob, you as a person in the heavy industry, large, wide area industry that I cannot name, what I'm saying?
Of course.
And Patrick, who's all over the place. Lord knows the man's been all over creation. I'm surprised. Passport's like that. Man's just like, okay, I'm going here, I'm going there. I'm going. Oh, sorry, it's a passport for travel, not your passport for certifications. I know your passport for certifications is like this. It's like a pizza. Pat got certificated this, Pat got certificated that. But either which way, the amount of diversity and difference you have from site to site, company to company, you have to be flexible. You have to be open-minded.
No question about it.
But of course, you have to utilize all the tools in front of you.
That's the thing. I mean, there's so many different things that you can utilize. That's the truth.
There's so many things. You have to have a consolidated, concise strategy, because you know what? Even though there's a product for everything, do you actually want to go out and buy every single product? No.
No, I'm not saying that, but you have to be adaptable.
What you need from the environment without paying $1 trillion in license.
Hold on. I'm in a current environment right now, and they still have Landesk.
Nice.
God.
I like Landesk.
No, you're right. Landesk has its place, but it's not.
I know.
Recent. It's out there, but adaptability. So you have to take what you got and utilize it. They still have WhatsApp Gold. They have this. They have that. I
agree.
Things. Okay, it's like what I said. Take 10 different people, same piece of software, same manual. You will get 10 different things, 10 different configurations, 10 different versions. Okay.
Yeah, but one of them will be right.
Is there really a right in technology, though? If it works, man.
But Eric,
think about it. The difference between the Giants and the Jets. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
No, Eric, that's the thing. When you go like with Patrick to design something for a client, you look at the client as a whole, right? And then you make the best possible design for them.
Right, but Patrick is
analytical. Product you have to utilize to go with what they already have, and then you utilize that.
I am an analytical machine when it comes
You're
to
a certified Terminator. You're a certified Terminator. You're an analytical machine. You look at stuff. You know what? It's like the Matrix movie. You see nothing but binary just going down.
I see zeros and ones. That's what I see.
Zeros and ones. That's it.
How many zeros and ones do I have to hit for input-output operations? How many zeros?
You know what?
Do I have to
Patrick, what does Eric look like? A zero? Eric looks like a zero.
Eric would be a fat zero, but a zero.
Like a zero.
All right, hold on a second. You see Patrick's head? You know what I'm saying? It's perfectly round.
Zero.
So
Patrick's actually smiling. Look at the size of that mouth.
A big head.
You know, realistically, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
This year's Shark Week, Patrick should be a guest star because that mouth is like chon. Like just shark. It's like the great white Patrick. Chop.
You must have a big camera at home, and to take care of that.
You see the size of that head?
That huge.
Come on, bro.
Look about your head.
That's my screen.
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, come on.
Look at that damn head.
Perfectly shaved.
Swollen, man.
Come on, man. Perfectly shaved. Little shine right here. Come on.
Swollen, man. I'm gonna nickname you Pink, man.
Yo, look at both your foreheads, man. That's like billboard space right there.
Nickname you Pink. I'm gonna call you Pink.
That's me.
Eric Pink Ruiz.
Advertise here.
Otherwise affectionately known as the Bolchinian. For Men in Black.
You wish you had this.
Star for Men in Black. We have a Bolchinian on the show tonight.
Oh my
Lord. Hey, Patrick, why don't you go break a hip, you old man?
In tonight's episode, I just want to say thanks, guys, for being on the show tonight. It was a very great discussion. If anybody out there watching the show and you'd like to get further information, you can send an email to info@bytestv.io, and we'll get that email, and then we'll post a response or provide information that you may need for a project or something that you're working on. So with that, guys, thanks for being on the show tonight. For all the folks in the audience, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the show. Tune in next week for another exciting episode of Bytes TV. Have a good night. Thank you.
Gene Lazarovich, Advanced Computer and Network Corporation.
We build, service, support, jet stored data storage systems. We offer the best price performance ratio on the market. We offer a consultative approach to the customers. We try to figure out their pain points, and then we try to offer them the best possible solution. I'm passionate about interacting with my customers, interacting with partners, interacting with suppliers. Whenever I talk to customers, they always challenge me. They always try to push me to give them the best possible solution that we offer. We are small and we are able to react faster to the customer needs. So we don't have a big overhead. So customers can go directly to me. I can solve the problem. If the problem is not solved, then they can go to my support team and they will help them. So we are small, and that helps us to be more reactive to the customer's demands.
With cyber threats active across the mobile world, doubt is now a part of doing business. More people are falling prey. Existing solutions do little to help. Difficult to install and configure. They're complicated, costly, and incompatible. Attacks continue to rise, which creates more doubt. It's time for Ijura Threat Eliminator. It protects your users, network, and business from a wide variety of mobile cyber threats. Technology agnostic, it needs no integration, which saves you time and money. Deploy enterprise apps just like consumer apps, keeping your users happy, your network secure, and your business protected. Ijura. Eliminate doubt.
Dynamite Networking Group, where super connectors meet.